to actually mention it. That ad.
Power Rangers, the retro wrap-up. You know what we should do a show on? The retro Married with Children, which would never fly in today's day and age. But
I love the fact that was the ad before this.
For us, I don't know,
played.
depending on the market. I
Yeah,
get the
I don't
Chicago
know.
market. I'm sure they had it too.
Yeah, of course.
We're not actually live, though.
Oh my God.
We're not on.
Oh, yeah,
oh,
we
yeah, we
later.
are.
Wait,
No.
we are
No, we
now.
are.
We are
Don't
now.
scare me.
So,
Oh no, we are. Yeah, it's delayed.
it's delayed. There's a longer delay than usual.
Yeah. It's usually like a 4 second delay.
About
I'm Joe. You are.
I'm Elle.
And?
Battlestar Galactica, Daniel.
Woo, woo.
Wait, I thought it was Battlestar.
Well, actually, no, it's Danny J, a.k.a. Your Problematic Bay, a.k.a. Battlestar Galactica.
That's too
because,
much.
no, I have a friend who's I'm spreading out the Battlestar love, and we actually have someone else making theirs.
Well, what-
Can,
you know
can I
what?
say their name? I don't know if
I don't know if you can.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if I can.
I don't know if you can. You probably could.
Yeah, you probably could.
Why?
Daniel's Battlestar name.
I don't know.
Oh, we'll tell you off
never
air.
mind, yeah.
Why are we choppy today?
I
See
know.
that?
I don't know.
There is.
Daniel, could you yell
There
it
is
for
eye
us?
click
can't say it.
It's okay.
So wait, you did the spotlight yesterday. We learned a lot about you. How was it fun?
I think it was.
You named everyone as Pokemon.
I did.
That
And
was great.
leading us into Pokemon
Yes.
is your segment of the week.
All right.
Hit it. Where's the graphic? There it is. So give us an update on your Pokemon Go quest.
All right. So last week I actually got a shiny Moltres. That was a one-day only event. And this week, well, for the next week, in these 7K eggs, which are typically Alolan eggs, you get the region-locked Pokemon. So you could get a Kangaskhan, which is usually only Australia.
A Genghis Khan? That's
Kangaskhan. Because it's like a kangaroo.
Genghis Khan?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So you get one of those. You can also get a Mr. Mime, where you went to Paris and got me one.
I did get one from Paris.
A
I got 3
Farfetch'd?
from Paris, actually.
Farfetch'd from only Asia, or Tauros, which is North America.
I have a Tauros as well. I'm sure you do too. All right, where's my graphic? Fantasy football.
All right.
Do we have that?
Sports.
No, we don't
she's
have
been,
that.
like,
I'm just
hat
kidding. No, because I'm beating Jezzer right now, currently in fantasy football.
Oh, okay,
A lot of
okay.
people
So
wanna know that.
fantasy football, you're gonna give him.
So that's that. Thank you guys so much for joining us on your Sunday and pulling yourselves away from your brunches and fantasy and real football, not just fantasy football.
Yeah, exactly.
But we are here to talk about something specific: T-shirts.
Excellent.
That's right.
We're not here to talk about T-shirts, but I am sporting our hashtag show Doctor Strange T-shirt. You can get your shirts down there in the link below. My favorite shirt is actually I was gonna wear the selfie shirt because I haven't worn that one. I just found it today.
Oh yeah. You know what I want? I need to go ahead and find or purchase. I find your lack of selfies disturbing.
Yeah, it's
I
fun.
do want that.
There's a fun story behind the original prints of those. Nobody knows that.
God, yeah.
But we'll get to that someday.
Yeah.
Shout out to you guys in the chat. We want to engage you guys into super chatting us. You know what that means. That means helping support the show. And we'll give you a shout out here on the show. Thank you guys so much again for joining us. Common, Ranger, Layla Nolan, Edward Sanchez, Blackwing, Thomas Franco, and all of the others that are in the chat.
We love you guys.
Not a lot's happened between yesterday and today, but we did come up with some revelations. Number one revelation is Jezzer has a special message, and here it is. No, I'm just kidding. The Jezzer message of the week.
The week, and it just keeps going like every
The
time.
more you know, it's
Yeah.
Jezzer's thoughts.
He's like, hi.
Shout
He
out
says
to
something wrong.
Jezzer. I want to see Jezzer memes. I want to see Jezzer memes.
Yes. Yeah.
The more you troll, the more you troll.
That's a good one. I
on
like that.
Instagram, dude.
I didn't see it. I don't look at my Instagram
I
messages.
know.
I saw a Facebook one, but I'm not going to bring that up right now.
Jezzer?
Not from Jezzer, but about Jezzer.
There's one on Facebook. I didn't know this.
It's about sauce.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I'll show him. I'll show him right now.
show
I'll
him.
show him right now.
And
Who made it?
I saw Daniel post it.
Daniel Jerome?
No.
Diaz.
Ragu, what is this? I heard he eats prey. That's a good one.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's a good one.
Jezzer, you're so
That was a burn.
You're
that,
so
that was
stupid,
really good,
Jezzer.
Daniel
You're so
Diaz.
stupid.
I wish we could
No,
put that on.
I'm just
But we can't do that.
We can't do that. But we are going to be talking about Power Rangers episodes because Power Rangers is hot, especially with Shattered Grid 2 was the big announcement that they made last night. I'm just kidding.
I was like, I did not read that at all. So I was looking at you like, what?
We don't have that news.
Yeah.
But yeah, we have a lot to talk about. 3 episodes. Funny enough, I know that was today the first day of fall? Or is today the first day of fall? Or was it yesterday? Oh, it's next week. It's next week. So next week's the first day of fall, but guess what? We're going to be talking about a Christmas episode
Yay,
today.
Christmas.
So Christmas comes early here on that hashtag show.
Yeah.
Send us your gifts at thathashtagshow.com.
Which is weird because I mean, how did these episodes did not air chronologically the way they're lined up on this?
I don't
Because
think
the last week an episode you said aired in February,
Yeah, it
and
was football.
now we have Christmas episode. I'm like, wait, how this?
I don't think they care. They're just like,
well, because they don't need to for some of them.
yeah. that's
Only
true.
the 3 2-parter blah blah. After that, you don't have to care, I guess,
Yeah.
at all.
I do miss, I'm not going to lie, I do miss these multi-part episodes because I do kind of miss long-form storytelling in Power Rangers.
We
We
got
will be
some
getting-
coming up.
We got a lot coming up.
Yeah, so.
Yeah.
We're going to have a plethora of carrying over from season 2.
See.
But you know what? Let's get into it because last week we ran long and we didn't get into it fast enough. That's what she said. But
So we'll get into it even longer on this one.
yes,
That's what
this one
she
is called A Final Face-Off.
Yeah.
It is written by Douglas Sloan and directed by Armand Garabidian.
Yeah, my
he's been
boy Armand.
He's been doing
directing a lot of these
Yeah, that's right.
episodes. So, Final Face-Off is one of the 100 the 126th episode Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. That's a fun fact.
That's a lot. I can't believe there's been so many episodes.
My God.
Yeah.
That's a lot of monsters of the week.
That's a whoa. Wait, me and I want to use the word monsters all the time.
Oh yeah, that's a lot of
This is true.
aliens.
Sometimes. They're
So we're gonna
aliens.
do. I'm
Sometimes they're
gonna
aliens.
give a quick rundown of this. This is while Kimberly is at the gym training. Other Rangers go to the museum to learn about the face-stealing monster, which piques Rita Repulsa's interest. Now, while the Rangers are kept busy, Squat, Babu, and Rito steal what contains a monster and keeps it bound so it can't harm anyone. To the Rangers' horror, Rita releases it and sends it to Earth. Aisha and Adam's faces are stolen in battle, so the Rangers are forced to borrow mystical masks from the museum to protect themselves and defeat the face stealer.
You know what the name of the country that they're from?
What was it? You remember?
Kamala.
It was Kamala.
That's a wrestler, guys.
That's also
it's
like
also-
a senator.
it's
Are
al-
you
Yeah,
listening?
right. Yeah,
Kamala
it is.
Harris?
Kamala Harris.
It's also Miss Marvel, current Miss Marvel.
Oh.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Kamala is just a popular name now, ladies and gentlemen. And it's great to see it circle back.
Yes.
But so, what do you guys? This isn't. There's not a lot here, but what do you guys think about this episode?
I actually kind of like this one. Is this one? Oh no, it's the next episode.
Yeah,
Never
I was
mind.
gonna say.
I was
It kind
gonna-
of came and went. It was like okay.
Yeah, it was alright. It was fun. It was a fun episode.
Yeah,
The
I don't-
math things, I didn't really get how they lost their memories when they just couldn't see. But
There is
that's
a
cool.
interesting
because-
fun fact that I'm going to share when we get to the end of this episode, which I'm not sure if you guys caught, but it did pique my interest enough when I rewatched this episode, and I looked up and I was like, oh, I wonder. Oh, you'll see in a second.
So I want to answer that. The reason that their memories are gone as well is because when you think about it, a memory of a person usually always is associated with their face. You don't know someone or differentiate someone by their arm or their leg or anything
Well,
else.
Jezzer.
But usually, those calves. But
Yeah.
usually by someone's face. So the face is their memory. It's a memory of them, but also that's where their memory is stored. I don't
I'll
know.
allow it. It's Power Rangers logic. I buy it. I buy it.
I'm doing great,
So
guys. Aces.
so you like this episode? I'm guessing.
No, not really. Not really at all. I don't know.
Mark had a fun moment where he was doing his zipping through space
Oh,
and time, and
yeah.
he's scratching his butt, being like, "Hey, I'm instead of battling, I'm just gonna taunt you while I scratch my butt."
That's
And
how
I was
fast
like,
I am.
What? Why? Why would
They-
you? That's a weird thing to do.
Oh, that shows how lazy and lackadaisical you are.
I
Alright.
think
Scratch
that
your bottom.
really Rocky and Aisha have so undefined characters, whereas I felt like the concentration really just went into Adam. They really
Yeah.
they really cracked the code on Adam, and then they're like, yeah, just I don't know.
They're like,
And funny enough,
they're
you actually
like,
know
"Well,
which ones they're leaving now. Well, I guess Kimberly, but
Yeah.
they also leave in conjunction to their lack of popularity.
'Cause, I mean, that's funny. People have to be like, well, what are we going to do about Rocky and Aisha? Who? One of the writers. Who? I
That's just
don't know
really
about that.
unfortunate though, because it's I do like them.
Yes.
And
This
I wanna
might be
see more.
the quickest review we have on this episode actually. So in the chat, what do you guys give it, and what do you guys give it?
I don't know. It's weird. It's
I know, yeah,
weird
the
that they
episode
needed
was kind of,
Titanus
quick
for
and-
this. It's
Oh,
weird
yeah,
that
I
they
didn't
needed
get
to be
it.
Titanus, I
supercharged
forgot that.
for
Yeah.
this. I didn't understand
I was
why
like-
this monster was so.
So difficult. They're like, the first thing he said was, "You're gonna need Titanus."
Yeah,
I
and
was
it's you didn't
oh,
even
wow.
really see him fight, and it's just he looks like a mutated piranha plant from Mario mixed with Happy Mask Salesman
Yeah.
from Zelda.
Yeah.
I don't know. He had all the buttons, he was a punk rocker piranha plant.
He had
It
the
was a-
little faces.
it's a
Yeah,
weird
it was
design.
weird. It was
a weird thing.
Ranking?
2. I don't remember it.
I mean, it wasn't horrible, but I want to give it a 1. In comparison to all these other ones that
You're
I
giving it
thought
a
were-
1?
Compared to, I
Wow.
was giving
That's
really
low.
high ratings for the
That's
other
what I
ones.
said.
They had
That's
like
why
a
I'm
moral,
going
they
down.
had character
That's why I
development.
said this is a 2.
This one's
Wait,
not
I have a
great.
question for you. Really, really curious out of this. So the Ninja Steel episode, what'd you give yesterday? Like a 2.5?
2.5 to be polite.
Sure.
Yeah.
It's interesting. Do you think that episode was better than this episode?
Actually, no.
No. So why is this one lower?
They're both poop. I should have gave both of them.
But
2.
also, to piggyback on my point I was trying to make, this is generally getting higher ratings than yesterday's episode, and I think they're both the same. So I think it's a stigma. It's a stigma.
It's a nostalgia. What's wrong with you guys? Break it, break it. Those chains are holding you down that you just, I have to be so nice to something I loved back in the day. No, it can be poop. Doesn't always have to stand up. My opinion.
But the thing is, like, you expect more from more current seasons that the writing will be better. And that the characters will be better. So, this is still its first iteration.
You
its
got a
first
point.
kind of.
You got a point. That's true.
Mikey Perez 2.5, Thomas Franco 2.5, Blackwing, who gave yesterday's episode like a 0.1, gives this a 2.5. You're crazy.
Wow.
The skew is off there.
Well,
Edward Sanchez 3.5.
The farting did
Layla, too.
really drop that episode. You're right. You're right.
Now
the farting wasn't the best.
There is some interesting facts in this episode, though. No errors, believe it or not. But fun fact here: first and only appearance of the Ninja Ultra Zord,
Okay.
which you mentioned.
Yeah, well, I was like, what is the special power on this weak monster of the week?
And it still has the, if you notice,
It
the
this-
Dragon Zord
it has the
chest.
Dragon Zord
Yeah, and
chest
I was
piece on
wondering,
it.
I was like, wait, did it fuse with Dragon Zord? Why
Yeah,
does
like
it need
where,
this?
is the Dragon Zord just still at the bottom of the sea, missing its chest piece?
Right?
Like,
Titanus is like, yo, I need this. This monster is like pretty hardcore.
Yeah, because
Zordon
the thing is,
hit me up.
Titanus is sentient, and so is the Dragon Zord apparently.
Yeah.
So with that being the case, the Dragon Zord has to be somewhere, just hanging around like, where's
Missing-
my chest?
Has a hole in his
Yeah,
chest.
literally, like. Oh.
This is the Ninja Ultra Zord is used from toys as a configuration. Was never seen in Konku Ranger. Titanus was from Jew Ranger. This is also the first mention of the Pan Global games, which becomes an important part of
boy.
Kimberly's
Yeah,
departure.
I figure.
Also, the original draft for this title was Face the Music.
How did that?
Yeah, that's
Well,
why it
I'm
was
glad,
the original
I'm,
draft.
I'm glad they changed
God they
the title
changed it.
because that has nothing to do with anything that's going on.
Just seconds
Hey,
before,
just face the music.
just seconds before the boys and Aisha fight against the Tangas, their stance is similar to the ones used by both Go Ranger and Goggle 5. I don't know if anybody picked that up.
I didn't. That
Here,
was so
now this
quick.
is this
I
is
couldn't
the
see, I
fun
didn't
fact,
know.
which I kind of like. I was like, because one thing I noticed about this episode was like, man, that chick is hot that they were talking to.
Okay,
That worked at the
okay.
museum.
Yeah.
You know who that is?
No.
That is Delphine, the white alien ranger.
No.
Raji Borodi, who plays.
Oh, what?
She plays a Xena in this episode. Would later return as Delphine in Alien Rangers.
What?
Yes.
She just.
Interesting.
What?
That weird head cowl makes a massive difference.
Oh
to
my
her appearance.
gosh! Like I look at just her chin. I don't. It's not like she has such a strong chin on the top picture.
It's kind of
As
like
a-
her
but
facial
then-
expressions.
Yeah,
with
it
that one
is.
is
And
not
then the other
great.
one, she's doing like something like or
Yeah.
something, so it makes it look like it's a weak chin.
That's
so you
true.
can't tell it's the same person.
that's
I need a
weird.
kind of a almost where she's looking off like that one, and then I don't know.
Yeah, so my guess is that they liked her and her look so much that the producers were like, you know what, we're gonna use you for this other kind of spin-off thing. But yes, that is Delphine from the Alien Rangers.
Or was she
Interesting.
just hanging around the set for the entire?
Well, I don't know.
time?
I don't. I actually think they must have really liked this actress, and I almost will go as far to say that they may have even, because you could tell that they liked her because they used her in Alien Rangers. I have a feeling that she may have been up for the Pink Ranger to replace Kimberly, and they chose Catherine instead to go more international.
Okay, and
But I have a
that's why
feeling
they're
it could have
"We're
easily
holding
have
on-
been her."
We're holding on to you to remember you.
Yes.
Oh boy, that day is coming up. Look at it. Look at it.
I know it's all gonna.
The Pan Global Games.
Wait, has Kimberly grown on you? We're getting close to her
Yeah,
departure.
Right,
And-
she just gets more of a heart now.
And like after watching these 3 episodes, especially the next one, where I was like, man, Kimberly has grown on me. She has changed and developed as a human being.
wow.
Quite like her.
Yeah.
In this
Like,
next
yeah,
episode
yeah.
that's coming up that we're going to talk about.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of the next episode coming up, we may as well get into it now. It's the Potion of Notion.
Excuse me.
This was an interesting one.
It was an interesting one. The Potion of Notion pretty much is love is in the air in the universe when Lord Zedd surprises Rita with the second honeymoon. The second promised honeymoon. Remember, he's been promising this for a while now.
See, this is the problem already. Just even while you're giving just a breakdown, this is the problem already. We just celebrated the second honeymoon, right?
I mean, maybe things work differently on the moon, and like their days are different and their years. I don't science.
I don't take it. I'm not believing it. No, we just did. Wow.
Rito.
3 anniversary episodes for these people that have been married.
No, one was an anniversary.
Well,
2 of them were like
yeah,
honeymoons.
That's very true. It's just, what in the world?
Well, Rito sends a monster that has a love potion, and then things get really weird.
But I like it because the other episode where they're like spreading hate and they're like, that didn't work. Let's do the opposite. So I like that they're spreading out their ideas and not trying to make more Dark Rangers. It's refreshing.
True. The Dark Rangers are awesome, and I want those legacy figures or
We
whatever.
need that to happen.
From the Lightning Collection. We should just make custom ones.
Hey, we know someone can do it.
We do. Though his usually idiotic ways, Rito lets it slip that Rita drugged up Zedd with a love potion back during the wedding. Goldar forces Finster to make an antidote.
And that's not going to go well for you later,
not gonna go
Goldar.
well for you later,
Trust
buddy.
me. Those wings, they can go.
But Lord Zedd
Can be replaced
continues
by
to be in
smaller
love
ones.
with Rita regardless. This episode really is about love, which is
It is.
quite
I like it.
interesting.
It is.
Zedd stepped up. No matter how much they hate each other, he genuinely does like them.
Which is interesting because this makes Zedd a way more likable kind of character.
Yeah.
But way less intimidating as well.
Yes. It does bring you down when we realize that you got a girl and you love somebody. That's always brings you down, apparently.
Domesticated Zedd.
I don't know. Like, that's what people always say. It's like the mafia thing, you know? You got a family. We can touch you now. You know? It's that kind of thing.
That's true, but also I feel like he's been very supportive. He has his little pet names for her all the time, like my cranky cupcake.
Does.
Oh,
He
no.
does. and
Wait.
yeah.
That was. I'm getting
Kelly.
confused with Kelly. That is Kelly's, but he was like my cranky, and it was like a sweet thing.
I love it.
I know.
No,
Sorry, I'm
no,
so
but
sorry,
that-
Kelly.
no, but
but
that
it is
would
like
be-
that. But
that-
he comes up with really weird
Oh my
names for
God.
her.
I didn't realize
Kelly,
that. but
Kelly could. I mean, that could
That
be
could
one.
be.
It
Kelly,
could
But I
be
felt
something.
like it was similar.
No.
It was like my cranky, like
No, I think
like
that's
sweet
it.
cake or
I
something
think,
like that.
Kelly, your
It was
name
something like
is
that.
actually.
Oh man,
again,
I want to
yes,
go back and
Kelly,
watch them all.
It might
take them all
actually
out
be,
because
now that
I
I
feel
think-
like that
your name is a
one
term
of them.
of affection for Lord Zedd.
I actually think you're
I
right.
feel like it was one of them at some point, and I was like, "Wait, what?" And I forgot to bring it up.
That is.
I
think
feel
you're
like
right.
it is a name, though.
It comes full
Dude,
circle.
I think you're
And
right.
now that I'm saying it, I feel like, oh my god,
I
hey,
can hear him say it. Like,
Yeah.
my cranky cupcake.
That's
or
interesting.
Or
however
by
he
like my
says it.
terrifying.
And
whatever,
then
or
Rita
like
goes
my-
with the Z for Zedd.
Oh my god! Oh my god, that does work. I should
does
know
work.
now.
With the Z! Friends!
We got a super chat. This one
man.
came in Ranger. He says, "Why was only Kimberly hit? Why not Aisha as well? Because nobody loves Aisha. I'm just kidding.
Oh, did anyone notice that Rita, when she walked into the throne room, they had the camera on her feet and she was wearing white J's? Like,
What? I
she
didn't
had
notice that.
She had like Jordans
remember
on,
that.
all white ones, and she's holding her skirt up and walking.
Hey, I do have a question
And I
though.
was like, why are we focusing on Rita's feet at this moment?
Why doesn't Aisha ever get any because you see Adam dates that Sabrina girl who's Scorpina.
Uh-huh.
You see when Zio Rocky talks to some girl. Aisha gets no action. Billy's had like 4 girlfriends.
Yeah, Billy has the most.
and
Whoa.
then Tommy and Kimberly, but Aisha gets no play. Is there a reason why? Skin color? You think?
I don't know. Maybe that's it.
But
Maybe
I mean,
it's
she's
not.
just underdeveloped in general, so
Well,
it's
you got
hard.
a point.
I just realized
she
that,
just
yeah.
seemed very
Just
young
there.
and cherubic versus the rest of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God, oh, she's so young. Like, those cheeks are just, she looks so young. It's like what you think about her. So look at her. Even when she does that, she looks like a sassy Huxtable kid. You know? That's what she
Raven
looks like
Simone,
right there.
all grown up.
Yeah, exactly. She looks like a sassy Huxtable kid. So you look at her and you're like, you don't see her as someone that could be interested in someone.
But still, I feel like the writing could have easily made her an
Immediately.
interesting character, like
Immediately.
anything.
Question: do you guys think that Aisha? Well, we're not at her departure yet, so I don't know why I'm talking about this. By the way, that might be the scariest sight you'll ever see.
Oh, I
in
will
your life.
talk about that in a moment when we get to it.
Well, we're gonna get to it now.
Because-
Talk about it now.
Dude, how was he not seen at the school? How was the love bug thing not seen at the school? Also,
Because it says
it
I'm
was a
invisible.
fireman.
He's invisible.
When did he say that?
Not Finster, but for the
That's
love
what I'm
bug
talking about,
machine.
Finster. When did
And the
Finster
thing is,
say?
like, why
I knew
weren't
the
they
love bug's
invisible?
Well, the love bug's invisible because it's like, well, Cupid was never
yeah.
invisible. You have to be. I get it. But why was Finster invisible?
I don't know. And like, if they had invisibility powers, why didn't they do that when they were stealing the masks? When they're like, "Hey, squat and baboon, just walking into a museum."
Why didn't they do it to everyone all the time? Well, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I don't get that at all.
Or why don't they transform like that putty that changed into a regular looking guy, like hawking, what is it, like watches or whatever?
Watches, like, there are so
what's
many
his name?
times. There are
Zach?
so many
Oh, yeah.
times.
And it's like he was in a costume. Why don't they use costumes when they go down to Earth to blend in when they're
don't
trying to do
know.
this in the first place?
There are
I think
so
that would
many
look hilarious.
times where invisibility would work, but you're right. Scariest moments are just seeing
That's
the
that's out of
monsters-
my nightmares.
The monsters in the regular setting, and then out of all the monsters, to see our favorite alien was the one that was like. It was so chilling for me at that moment. Like, if
You
that
don't know what
happened
he's gonna
during
do.
the day-
He's just like, "Hey, I'll fix this problem," and like slice their throats.
right in front of everyone.
Yeah.
Like,
It's dangerous.
invisible.
Yeah.
He just says like,
I think you just that could be a crazy horror movie, by the way. Blumhouse, get on it.
oh God! Look at why didn't think that picture? Oh God!
And Rito in the background, he was like, "Ooh, I don't know what he's
I know,
doing."
He's like, I don't want to fuck with that guy. All right, so let's talk about some of the air. Oh, do you have more comments on this episode? Go ahead.
No, I mean, okay. I actually really like Skull in this. Like, I
I
like
do
Skull.
too.
I have
Yes.
such a soft spot
Yes.
for him.
Just wait till you get to Zio.
Oh man! All right.
It was so great, and I was looking for a moment like maybe Skull's so much better for her than Tom.
There's a
it
rumor
was.
about that, by the way, but I'll get to that in a second. There's a Zio episode that legit almost made me cry,
Oh,
and
man.
it's about Skull, and it's so good. Yeah.
Because I love him. Like, he plays
Oh, this
classical
movie's so
piano,
good.
and he's ashamed of it.
And
He
that
doesn't want to be made fun.
that plays out later in Zio.
Yeah, and it's like these small little characterizations throughout the seasons. I'm like,
And
I
then,
love him.
like
Like,
we
I
learned
think
through the comic about the whole thing about
Him and Billy used to be
like,
best friends.
Yeah,
There's
you
so
were
much
saying that.
more that I know doing these than I did going in, of course.
Yeah.
And it's just like, yeah, the character is so much more.
It is
fleshed out.
cute. It's so,
It is
and
so
Skull
cute.
seemed
Look
like a
at him.
prince in that.
No,
Like,
Yeah,
and the
like
thing is,
Cinderella Prince with the-
Skull wasn't hit with the spell. It was just Kimberly.
Yeah, and
right?
he was
so
genuinely
Skull always
excited.
liked her.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
And you saw him hitting on her in previous episodes
Yes.
and being like, hey, you know,
Oh,
in his
man.
like weird, aggressive kind of way.
Exactly,
But,
but he always liked her, and he just didn't know how to really put it out. But once she approached him, notice he didn't do anything weird like, "Hey, baby, I'm gonna squeeze you or touch you." No, he was just like very gentlemanly. He
Gave
took
her a little
care of her.
dip and, like,
Yes,
picked her up and sent her on her
everything.
way, and-
He was very polite and treated her much better than Tommy ever did, from what I see. I still don't even think she's ever said boyfriend concerning Tommy.
yeah. And the thing
wait a
is,
minute, hold
think
on.
so.
Wait a minute, hold on. Tommy, I want Tommy a defender here.
Okay.
That would just give you a point.
Okay.
Remember when she made that parade float and it got ruined by the putties? Who put it back together? Tommy. That's
True.
right. Nobody even helped
True,
him.
true.
He did it all.
Very true. Very true. But Tommy at that time was like, I'm a loner. I don't even know if I
That
live in a house.
seems even
Like,
more.
didn't
He
know.
lives in a trailer park, so what?
No, he didn't live in a trailer park. I think he lives inside the school, like in the.
No, 'cause he doesn't show up. How would he live there?
In like an air conditioning
he
vent?
He lives in a shack that's off on the school
oh my god,
grounds.
like Willie.
That's it. And then Tommy just shows up every once in a while, and he's like, "Oh yeah, Power Rangers." And you never want to know Tommy's sad story. I think that's what's happening.
I do agree with you though. It's crazy because when the first episode in season 1, they're clearly portrayed as the bullies,
and annoying and,
And
very
annoying.
like messing things up.
and by the time you get to season 3, believe it or not, they might have more character. They do have more character development than at least Rocky and Aisha.
I believe
sure.
it.
100%, and it makes sense. You care about them. You actually care about them.
Yeah.
And they even get their moment when they become cops.
Oh yeah,
I love
that's
that.
right.
I love
They
that.
shine. You know what? They are becoming like quickly some of my favorite characters ever in
really
Power Ranger
are.
existence.
Honestly, and then when you get to space, there's like they have a great moment at the end that like makes you be like, all right, this
Oh
is
yeah,
what you
I
love.
do know
man.
that.
So like we're a long ways away from that, but
Yeah.
I think that you get that character development, and it makes sense why they're so beloved by the audience, and like they are the Laurel and Hardy /
Yeah.
Dean Martin and Jerry Lewis kind
See,
of like
that's
style.
the thing. That's a great thing because you have to think about it that way. Power Rangers did introduce a lot of kids to that subtle brand of comedy that is so classic. Like you put the names together, that they're synonymous with it, and then for some kids, some generations, they're like, "Oh yeah, like Bulk and Skull."
Yeah.
And
I mean, do
that's
you
it.
remember the PSA where it was a PSA where like they're talking, and then like Skull spills like an ice cream on Bulk's shoe, and he's like, "Are you gonna punch him out, Bulk?" And like, "No, he's my friend." Like that's just acting, and like
Guys,
it's like
calm
this
down.
whole like sweet PSA that they do.
Aw.
But I was talking about Kimberly and Skull. So fun fact that in Power Rangers Samurai,
Okay.
Bulk is teamed up with a kid, and it's Skull's son Spike.
Oh yeah.
And there's a rumor and innuendo that it's actually Skull and Kimberly's kid Spike.
Like love child or like
Yeah,
legitimately
it's,
got together?
by the end of the season, you find out that Skull's like this. He must be like a millionaire because he pulls up in a limo. He's like, "Hey, come on!"
Yeah.
And he's
Oh.
like, so he makes it. But he's also in Forever Red. Bulk owns a bar, so who knows? There had to be
Okay,
like it's
okay.
interesting. He owns like a beach bar.
But then later, didn't they end up back together as a duo, Bulk and Skull?
No.
Or never it ended.
I think they're seen together in Samurai, but they're never like really.
They don't have that
Besides
buddy
Forever
comedy.
Red,
Yeah.
they're like pretty much gone.
That's it. Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Oh.
All right.
So they leave. I mean, they leave the duo's last episode together. I guess they weren't even together in the episode. Was Power Rangers Lost Galaxy? But the last time that they were actually on screen together as a duo, besides said reunions, was Power Rangers in Space.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
But anyway, let's move on to this because there are some interesting things. Now there was an error in this episode. The Ninja Megazord formation footage is in order incorrectly. The ape and wolf are seen gaining. Sorry, I'm gonna sneeze. Gaining their fist covers. However, they appear without them to combine with the Bearzord. And there are a few notes here. It's in reverse, is all. A few notes here. Oh man, I really am gonna sneeze. First mention of the love potion since this is the first mention of a love potion since the Return of the Green Ranger Part 2. Oh, thank you. This is first season 3 appearance of Mr. Kaplan.
Oh yeah, we
Oh,
haven't seen him in
yeah.
a long time.
Last
he was
time,
getting feisty.
yeah, last time we saw him was best man for the job, and Mrs. Appleby. This is the last scene in both parts of Storybook Ranger. That is the last time they were both together. Was in Storybook
Oh.
Ranger, which was in season 2. So they're back for season 3.
Fitting. To bring
Man,
them back
Mrs. Appleby
together.
was getting it in this episode
She
too.
was getting so much love and
Yeah.
attention, man. Wow. Oh, Jerome. And then Mr. Kaplan, I'll tell you about that. And she was just getting all the attention.
But she was also
Man.
like, what is going on?
Yeah, see, that was so weird. It was like, I like the attention, but I'm also kind
Yeah.
of...
Coy.
Because sometimes
Yeah.
they did come too strong.
That was a little intense
Yeah.
and out of nowhere.
Yeah,
So.
and it was kind of like, oh, no. Mm-mm.
So this next fun fact, and Daniel's really gonna like this because it's right up his alley. Kimberly's middle name is Ann. That's Kimmy Ann.
Oh my gosh! Wow! Thank you. Oh man,
That's a deep cut reference.
That's a deep cut reference, guys.
For hashtag Show Insiders that have been here for a long time.
Hello, nightmares. Hello, hello, nightmares. Oh, boy.
We'll tell you off there
Sorry.
about that. What that means.
Sorry.
This episode is also known for having the closet, the closest thing to a relationship between Kimberly and Skull in it.
I mean,
So
I believe
when-
it though. I thought they looked cute together.
Yeah.
What do you say? You ship it?
Yeah, oh, I
ship
ship
it?
I ship it hard.
I ship it. Okay.
Yeah, I mean it
what she
is.
said.
Cute.
I like them together too. It is kind of cute. He is so goofy, but it's so like lovable goofy.
And I feel like for Kimberly to like let loose and stop being so kind of stuck up and
Man,
I feel like he would be good for her.
Yeah, yeah. I just, oh boy, that Finster. Ah boy. I'm sorry, it's scary. Man.
I gotta know,
It
what do you
really
guys
is.
rate this in the chat right now? Common Ranger says 3.9 for Skull. That's a pretty high rating. What do you give this, Daniel?
I give this episode a 5 because I got a lot of Finster. And that's really what I wanted. And I got my Bulk and Skull movement that, because I believe in the movement, which I call the Bulk and Skull movement. It's make sure that they're the most important part of the episode.
What do you give it?
I gotta give it a 5 because the redeeming factor is Kimberly at the end, seeing him
Yes!
sad, actually legitimately sad, and out of the goodness of her heart, asks Tommy like, "Hey, is it okay if I ask him to dance?"
Yeah.
And makes amends and says like, "I would like to be friends."
Yeah.
I realized that that was super mean, and I would like to be friends. And it
Celery?
makes-
Celery? Oh yeah. Adam,
that was so weird. Adam is-
Adam's possibly a serial killer. I mean, he just walked up to him like, who carries celery in their pocket? Who's ready to hand it out in a dance? I don't know.
Or
Those
is it like
particular
painted?
people.
Is that like some weird drug? And you don't know, like, instead of like spiking the punches, like I got some spiked celery.
He's like,
It's healthier
"Hey,
than
bro."
punch.
Yeah, he's like,
We
"Yo,
gotta
bro."
still be on our training workout, guys.
I got some celery, bro.
He's like,
I know it is a Bloody Mary. Where I was just like, what kind of high school dance is this?
HGH. It's like
yeah, right. He's offering anything at this point. You're just like, I can see it.
so. This actually did get a lot of higher rankings from everybody. Anthony Davis gives it a 3. Layla gives it a 3.5. Edward 5. Mikey gives it a 4.5.
Yeah,
Larry
this is like my favorite episode so far, to be
Yeah.
honest.
Larry gives it a
man.
5. Jared gives it a 5. Brian gives it a 5. JR Hall of Horror Cosplay gives it a 4 out of 5. That's Jerry.
Okay.
Blackwing 3.5, and Thomas gives it a 5. I will give it a 4.5. I actually like it as well. It's very good.
So close, guys. We
Very,
almost
very
had
good.
him. We were
Yeah.
gonna have 5s across the board. It was gonna be like
The
American
first-
Idol or something, you know?
Yeah.
It's a good episode.
We're gonna have
It's a
somebody come out
pretty
and
good
dance. It was
episode.
gonna be amazing. You guys missed it.
It's no, I'm dreaming of a White Ranger. But that is our next episode. Let's get into it. I'm Dreaming of a White Ranger, the Christmas special. This is we do get Christmas specials even now. So in season 3, we're getting these predecessors, these precursors to what we have now in Power Rangers future. So it's Christmas time in Angel Grove, and in the Angel Grove Juice Bar,
boy.
everyone's inside and is in the spirit. The Rangers, Adam, Billy, Rocky, and Tommy watch the goings on as Kimberly and Aisha hold a minor pageant within leading the children and singing "We Wish You a Merry Christmas." As the pageant ends, the girls rejoin the gang, the guys as the bar owner Ernie approaches. Tommy then offers to put up the star on the Christmas tree.
Yep.
Yep.
However, Tommy spots a despondent little girl and lets her put the star up in its place. Now, what do you guys think so far?
Honestly, I said to myself, how old was I when this aired? What year was this? Do you know when it aired?
Yeah.
Because
By the way, yeah, that's something. It's written by Ron Milbauer and Terry Hughes, and it's directed by Douglas Sloan. This was September 12th. First air date was September 12th, 1995.
And that's really early for Christmas, but I mean,
As we're in the middle,
Yeah.
I actually think, dude, this is almost
Wait,
an exact year. Almost the
date.
exact to date from 95 to now. September 12th, I think this is September 16th.
how old are the kids, do you think?
Now?
No, how old were they? When then?
She's probably like, what, not 10?
I was,
10?
yeah, about 10.
And then, no, 95.
She's probably like our age now.
Yeah, 95 till now. She's about, yeah. Okay, I want to know who she is. Now that I know it's safe. I want to know who she is.
What? Because I was like,
wanna
she's an adorable
I
girl.
want to
I
find
hope
her,
she
and
did.
I want her to be a Power Morphicon, so I can say hello.
This is a Jezzer. This is getting Jezzer. This is getting
No,
Jezzer
I'm
real
just saying.
quick.
No, oh really? I'm saying, oh my gosh. No, because the thing is, for this episode, it was great for me because it was like, okay, it was a black kid. I'm not saying that because I think she was cute. That's why
She
I'm
is
asking.
cute, though.
Well, she's a cute little kid. Like,
Yeah.
oh, look at her, so cute. But I mean, like, what I'm saying
It was
is,
child Daniel having impure thoughts about this little girl.
No, I wasn't. What I'm saying is I wanted to know because I was like, okay, how old is she? Is she still in acting? And then can we somehow get her to Power Morphin?
You know who we almost got on this show?
I want to interview her.
And the timing didn't work out. We were doing the retro. This is before. It was when Kelly was still doing it. We almost got Trini's cousin Sylvia because one of our producers knew her.
Oh.
Now grown up, and we were this close to getting her on that episode. I wish that we could reach out and figure out who this is, but
That would have been dope. Yeah, because I would love to. Because the thing is, like, for me, it's kind of like, okay, well, it was a black youth that was spotlighted on an episode, and I was just like, oh, this is great. I just love that. For me, it's just, hey, I root for everyone black, so it was great to see it.
not
And-
everyone. Not O.J.
Yeah, well,
Simpson.
no, he's not. We don't want him.
You might have rooted for
He's
him
on
when
our
he's driving
team.
that Bronco.
No,
Down the
no.
street.
When
Go,
they-
OJ,
when
go,
they had
just
that,
go.
I was no. And then when they said I'm guilty, I was definitely not rooting because there were riots, and that was not okay.
That was riots for Rodney King, not O.J.
Was
Simpson.
it? Oh yeah,
But-
that's right. Oh, because he was not guilty, right? I wanted to riot because he was not guilty. Anyway,
So Aisha talks
Did
to
it-
Kimberly, who tells her that this was the first Christmas she was going to spend without her mom, which an earlier plot had Kimberly deciding to stay with Aisha when her mom moved to Europe. Aisha reassures her and gets her to join in with the decorating as bullies turn junior police officers Bulk and Skull enter, laminating with the duties as Santa and respectively. When Kimberly attempts to pull some mistletoe, Tommy arrives to help her, only for
part.
It was
Bulk
so
and
cute.
Skull
I love
to
it.
barrel through and Skull steals a kiss for Kimberly.
Like right on the
Yes.
cheek.
Pleasure.
Right,
But
this is
then-
right after he had the love potion, so he still remembers. He's holding on.
But I like how like Bulk kind of looked at Tommy, and for a moment I was like, "Is he gonna kiss Tommy?" Like he was like kind of coming
and
in,
if
and
he
he was
did,
looking,
that would
and
be
he was
perfectly
like,
fine.
and I thought
I'm
it was
just-
too, but I thought he was gonna steal. I kind of wanted it where he was like
He
gonna
was-
kiss
he
Tommy
was
on the
gonna look
cheek
and
and
he
be
goes,
like, "Well, Skull
he
already
would've-
took Kimberly, so I mean, like, I don't want him to feel left out."
He's like, boop. He kissed him. He says, "Don't want you to feel left out."
He's
He
like,
walks
so
away.
I guess we're going there.
I don't know if I ship it, but I did want to see it.
However, not all is
Because
happy
we're going
because
there.
in the base on the moon, Lord Zedd shows his displeasure over the holidays and
Yes.
vows things will be different. Rita Repulsa demands, you gonna say something?
No, because also,
he's the
did you
Grinch.
notice where he was like, "Oh, I hate the holidays." He's like, "What? But how do you know this? We've only been married for a year."
For a
But did
year.
you notice the subtitles where it says we weren't even married for
For
a
a
year?
year.
I'm
Yeah,
like,
and I was
that's a
like,
big-
wait.
But you had an anniversary and a double honeymoon? Like, what?
Like, 'cause she says we weren't, but she was like, we've only been married for.
Moon,
Yeah, I
moon
didn't
time,
understand
moon
that.
calendar is
Yeah.
obviously different from.
But I was like, what?
It was a weird thing.
Was weird. Now
He's the
Rita
Grinch.
demands to know how did he do that, noting that he says that every year. Zedd corrects her, pointing out how could she know that since they only been married for a year, he produces a special top, one of those spinning tops
That's kind of
that
interesting.
would hypnotize children of the world into doing his bidding. Now this is interesting. Why is this interesting?
Dreidel.
Yeah, that's what I was
We
thinking
already
too.
know that Lord Zedd is Jewish.
Yes.
We've already confirmed
It's
this.
been
It's
established.
been established and
Yeah.
confirmed. So then, what does he think of a good kind of gift?
Is Lord
for
Zedd an
kids?
allegory for Haim Saban?
I knew it! I knew it! This is what I've been saying the whole time, and I was like, is no one else gonna touch it? And that's it.
That's what she said.
That's it. But that's exactly it. It was like, all right, no one was going to say anything about it. And finally, there it is. Because you think about it more and more and more.
Because
And
listen,
the guy
he's
shows
trying
up
to
and he
use a
takes it.
magic dreidel, basically taking control of children
Yeah.
for Lord Zedd to rule the earth. Saban took control of children for Lord Zedd to
Yeah,
rule the earth.
no, exactly. But it was all done by toys, which, I mean, that's what
Which
you're
is essentially
selling.
what Saban did.
Exactly. So,
Bum, bum, bum.
we're
Mind blown, guys. Mind blown.
not going to be here next
boy.
week. They're going to take us out.
Well, Saban doesn't own it anymore, so that doesn't matter anymore.
But he's still probably watching
Yeah.
stuff like, I'm watching.
Rito comments that Zedd's idea is pretty good. Wow, this is like one of the producers. Like, that's a good idea, Zedd. Now I'm looking at this in a whole new light.
Every time somebody says, yeah, I wonder which person, like, actually in the Saban office in the Saban world. Like, everyone.
While being entranced by the spinning top, Zedd gives Rito the top and tells him to go to the North Pole and force the elves. Oh, this is getting real. Force the elves to make more toys while taking Santa hostage. Okay.
Okay.
This-
All right. Okay.
I
This
mean,
this is a continuity. Santa's a real character now.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Deciding to make
Well, he's been established. Yeah, that's right.
Deciding to make a pun-related gloat, Zedd says Santa won't have to check his list twice because all the children in the world will have to be naughty and won't be nice for me.
Yeah.
And I love how they made sure to get a tight zoom in while he was saying this for a person who has a face that does not emote
Move,
at all.
yeah.
That's like
Yeah.
the best part. It's like I don't have eyebrows, I don't have anything.
My
and
mouth
the
barely
camera's
moves.
Barely moves. You can kind of see it right underneath, and it's just the camera's zooming
Yeah.
in. And I was like, that was a waste of a shot.
In the juice bar, Aisha and Kimberly are practicing another song called Menorah with the kids, as Aisha notices the kids from earlier. Aisha is and by the way, is Menorah a real thing? Like Josh, is that a real Hanukkah song?
We're asking our
Menorah?
resident knowledgeable person.
Dreidel,
Okay.
not Menorah.
Not Menorah.
Not as far as I know.
So if we play it, will you be like, oh my god, yeah, I know. what
It's
that
interesting
song
because
is.
I've never heard of it
I
either.
never-
Yeah, that's what I
So,
did.
Aisha's curious as to what's going on through Kimberly is just as clueless. When the song ends, the kids leave. The two confront the girls over their half-hearted performance, but she brushes them off, saying that it wasn't worth it as she wouldn't have anybody to sing for.
I mean, sing for the rest of the audience, girl.
That's what I'm saying. Like I don't get
Like, there's a
that.
bunch of people there.
We've all seen kids
yeah.
like this, though, that are like act out.
She's pretty much she's Mariah Carey. I don't know. You know, like she's like, I need an audience or nothing. And where's my fan? You know.
In the North
That's what
Pole,
happens.
Santa enters his workshop to check on the elves as they work. Their head elf is worry over not meeting their deadline, but Santa reassures her. However, Rito appears, flanked with Tangle Warriors, and they declare that they're taking over, and they want the elves to make these tops. Go ahead.
It just sounds like the story of when Saban finally took over and he sends his executive down to where they make the toys, and they're like, the regular manager is like, oh, don't worry.
Yes,
We can
that's a
only
great
wait
point.
till we can.
So
And then he shows up
Jerry
and he's
says,
like,
is Santa Bandai then?
yeah, there you go.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying.
Santa
Bandai. Yeah.
So he sends the
Big
executive.
allegories.
He
Yes.
sends his executive down to Bandai, which is Rito, and Rito's like, "You make them faster," and they're like, "Oh no!" And then that's where the paint problem came with the shield, and it's like mustard paint because they were running out of stuff. They didn't know what
Oh,
to do.
my
They're like,
goodness.
"The kids will be fine. I'm finished," and that's what happened.
Rito introduces himself with Santa commenting that he's been very bad, and Rito takes it as a compliment. Santa and the head of the elves stand up to them, but Rito's numbers are easily overpower them.
Is it weird that Santa knows who Rito is? Does he also deliver gifts to other planets?
Yeah, he's
not.
Santa.
He's
Like, not just
magic.
Earth. Like, I always thought he only
Yeah.
delivered gifts to the children of
no,
Earth.
no.
But no, he is well
He's
known
magic.
throughout the universe.
Yes,
All right.
that's right.
Just wanted to check.
Of course.
All right.
Now in the juice bar, Kimberly confronts the children and finds out that her dad can't come to the pageant because he's stuck at work. Kimberly reassures the girl and cheers her up before bringing her in. She catches Tommy under the mistletoe once again, and they try for another kiss, only to be interrupted by cockblocker Zordon.
Yes.
Wow. Actually, I thought Kimberly was going to relate to the girl and be like, it's okay. My
My
dad
parents
never
aren't here."
came back either. We only saw him on one episode. And do one of those, like, look right at the camera and then keep talking back to her. I'm just saying.
It's
We
true.
only saw him once.
It's true.
And he
It's true.
doesn't
And I
exist.
thought that's where this conversation was going to go too.
Well,
was where
Tommy
we
could have
found
just said,
kids.
you know what?
I don't
You've
have
never
any
seen my parents.
Tommy's like, well, look at you. I don't have any. Like, I don't know what happened to Tommy's parents. I really
Nobody
don't.
knows what happened.
I
Who
don't.
knows? Yeah.
Oh,
So
it can be dark.
arriving in
be.
the command center, Zordon lets the teens in on Rito's takeover, confusing the teens over why Zedd would do this. Learning of the toys, the team agrees that they have to stop them. However, Zordon warns them that because of various factors like cross-current of holiday magic, which obviously is a thing, of the North Pole's unique polarity, their powers will not work in the North Pole.
Yeah.
So if Rita, I mean, if they're going to conquer anywhere, it should be the North Pole and then
Yeah.
start south. They realize that this takes their chance away upon arriving. The Rangers must make it to the workshop. They see Santa all tied up, and
Oh,
Rita,
I love that bow over his mouth. Yeah.
Rito and the Tango Warriors pushing the elves into working. These slave drivers here. As the team thinks of the plan, Zedd spots the teens and sends Goldar to assist Rito to get rid of the Rangers.
No more die-cast Zords. Make them all plastic. All the things that happen. All the
True.
things that happened are
An
happening
allegory.
right there in this
It's an
episode.
allegory, guys. This is
We
what
can say
they
this
do.
now. We can say this.
This
now.
is for sure behind the scenes. This is the riff tracks of like they're like, all right, guys, we're gonna
Yeah,
shit on
right,
football.
right.
Let's see if he notices it. They did probably create that character
That's
based on
exactly
it. And I do, if I ever get a chance to interview him, I'm gonna ask that.
Oh.
That's a good question, though.
It is a good question. In the juice bar, the little girl
starts
confronts
laughing.
Bulk and Skull because you got to think that's also the first American main villain they've ever had. That's not a Japanese
Oh,
villain.
that's true. I wonder if you ask him in the office, he just like that laugh. You know?
It's a laugh.
Yeah, right.
In the juice bar, the little girl confronts Bulk and Skull trying to find Kimberly. Both are shocked to hear that Kimberly isn't around since she's never bails on helping others. Skull reminds Bulk it's time to slip into their costumes. Bulk says they'll go outside and let Santa know about Kimberly's disappearance. In Santa's workshop, the Rangers huddle and come up with a plan, which begins with Aisha and Kimberly getting the head elf's attention and letting the others in on the plan. The two then get Rito's attention and lure them outside with the head elf rallying the other elves. Outside, the Rangers make their presence known as Rito attacks by launching snowballs at the villains, forcing them to retreat inside the workshop.
It's like snowballs. Is this some like weird Home Alone kind of tactics?
Yeah,
like I thought it
of
was
course.
like they could throw rocks.
Well, I think they had rocks in them because when they hit them, you would hear the ping, pong, ping. So
It's crazy,
maybe they had the
doesn't
rocks
Tommy
in them.
throwing that snowball? Doesn't he look like that little kid Tommy? Like during the snowball?
Oh, jeez. Oh, that's scary.
It does. Now, the Tangos try to aid them only to be tripped by marbles. Those are very dangerous, by the way.
Oh.
The villains defeated. They're all tied up and Ruben teleported back to Zedd and Rita. The head elf realizes... Go ahead.
At that moment when I thought about it, when they were like, okay, what we're going to do is teleport them back to the moon, I thought about it and I said to myself,
There's no
why
magic.
don't they have jails? Why don't the Power Rangers have cells to put them in and
We'll get
make
that-
sure they don't go right back to
We'll get that in
to-
SPD.
Oh, okay, yeah, well, see, but that's the thing. Why didn't the Rangers have them?
Because they kill 'em.
For,
Why would they have them? They just kill them every time.
Well, they don't kill.
Because they can't. They always get
can't kill
teleported
Rito.
out.
Exactly. So don't send them now. Don't make it easy and send them right back.
They can't
again.
use their magic. They can't do anything.
But they could
All they can
teleport.
do, teleport them into
That's
a jail.
magic?
Teleport them
But
into
they have to
a jail.
lock on the coordinates. They're probably only locking on for 6, not 8. It's too much, man.
And they kill them.
The head
Which is
elf
also
realizes
something I'm
that the
gonna
takeover has put them behind schedule, and Billy offers the Rangers to aid the elves and get them back on track by wrapping up the rest of the presents and loading them into Santa's sleigh, which they accept. The teens are able to figure out everything, and they help Santa get everything back on track. The others go to the juice bar, which he mysteriously refers to as the park for some reason.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Same.
In Lord Zedd's base, Zedd and Rita are happy receive one last gift a year. To Rita's anger, the box is full of their the tops, the spinning tops.
Yeah. I thought it was gonna be cold.
This is I don't know.
Also, the spinning tops, like, that's what they wanted made. They can just use them now on children in, like, the next episode.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like,
That's like,
all he
hey,
has to
these
do is,
cursed
like,
tops that you want us to make, here you go, so you can use them on Christmas, or on the children tomorrow, the day
Once
after
again.
Christmas.
And then
Once
we get
again,
a
another
racist
problem.
comment by Rita. It says, "What a gyp." That's a racist comment towards gypsies.
Whoa,
It's a
yeah,
true
that's
story.
true. That's true.
Oh.
Problematic. Go problematic. The problematic Ranger.
That should every time something like that happens, Jezzer's face should pop
Jezzer's
up like
pop
his
up
like.
yeah. Oh, that's the one like this.
Wearing the Santa hat, Rito sheepishly gives Goldar a new sword for Christmas, which is kind of a cute moment. Taken aback by Rito's gesture, Goldar can only thank him gladly. Rita and Zedd, however, are left disgusted.
Where he rolls his mouth when he says it, he goes, "Thank you."
Looking out to Earth, Zedd declares that he hates Christmas with a bah humbug, which is echoed by Rita. At the juice bar, Bulk and Skull have donned their costumes and are tending to the kids to hear their wishes, finding themselves dumbstruck over the kids' massive list. The Rangers return with gifts. Kimberly gives the girl a special gift. Her father apologizes for missing out on the
When did
performance.
she have time to go talk to the dad and be like, hey,
He looks
your
like
daughter
Commander
really-
Hilltop from
You know what he looks like?
the Sentai.
No, you know what he looks like? He looks like a generic 1990s black guy for TV. That's what he looks like. I looked at him and I was like, it's Neil deGrasse Tyson. It's blah, blah, blah. It's blah, blah, blah.
It's Commander
I have
Hilltop.
See, look at that. I have so many names I can give him right there. It's like generic black guy in the 90s. That's it. I love it, though. I love every bit of it. Look at him.
But also Skull's outfit where he's still punk rock, he's wearing the leather jacket over his
Over
reindeer.
yeah,
That's actually pretty cool
And I
look.
was like,
Yeah.
that is super cute. I love him.
Yeah.
He has grown on me.
He's
So-
Commander Murtaugh. I don't know.
The
There's
girls,
so many names
the girls
I can
approach
throw.
Bulk and ask what she'd want for Christmas, only to have her say she already has her gifts and thanks him, leaving the two feeling warm inside. And Skull breaks down into tears. Kimberly and Tommy finally get their kiss under the mistletoe, and she reunites with her mom for the holidays.
That was so sweet. I love that moment.
Yeah.
This is a good Christmas episode.
It
Yes.
was. I was like, yeah. And then they ended it with the whole.
Is that the French guy? Where's his beret? I couldn't tell if he's
Yeah. Well, he did have a turtleneck during the 90s.
true.
And it still counts as French, you know?
It does.
Okay.
Fair enough.
Oh,
After
turtleneck.
one last song, Silent Night, everyone gathers around the stage and lets out a Merry Christmas. All to camera, by the way. Just wanted to throw that out there. We do have notes, but let's hear what you guys are talking about in the chat right now. We said Anthony Davis. We know he has a mom, but that's just thanks to Boom Studios. We haven't seen this in his canon, in PR canon. I'm assuming they're talking about Tommy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We definitely know they don't talk about it.
Blackwing always hears to love. He loves to hear the bah humbug. He loves hearing bah humbug.
Okay.
Common Rider gives this
humbug.
episode a 2 out of 5 and found Beetleborgs and VR Trooper Christmas episodes a little bit better, though. It's interesting. Yes, we know that is not Hilltop, but it looks like Hilltop.
Yeah.
This would be the second time Kim and Tommy kissed.
Yeah, I was gonna say, have
Followed
we ever
up by
seen
an I think.
I think. The first
I
time
think.
because I actually think that is true.
I think that's true
I
too.
was
Like
trying to
early in the
look back.
beginning, I was like, they haven't established their relationship, and this is one of the first times where
She
they're like,
still
yeah.
hasn't said boyfriend. He still hasn't said girlfriend.
Well, it's very taboo in Power
Yeah,
Ranger.
well, yeah. He's just like, look. We are. We don't need labels, baby.
There is a lot of
Sit down for
a lot of notes for this episode. Number one, this episode's preview is a variation of the classic poem "The Night Before Christmas."
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
okay.
The episode's title is based on the Christmas song "I'm Dreaming of a White Christmas," obviously. Zedd and Rita quote Ebenezer Scrooge from A Christmas Carol saying
Yes.
"Bah humbug." It's only been a year since the wedding. The original VHS release, not the later VHS release, contains an extended scene where right before they teleport to the North Pole, the Power Rangers receive greetings from Kat, who is visiting her family in Australia for Christmas over the viewing globe. But since Kat is already one of the good guys and also aware of the Rangers' secret identities in the scene, this would indicate that the special takes place before the final scene in A Different Shade of Pink 3. Kimberly spends possible weeks or months training for the planned global games. Thus, it is the first episode that possibly could take place within another. The second is SPD Wormhole. So they're saying this episode could possibly take place within another episode.
Oh, word.
Yeah, I didn't know that either. That's a pretty interesting fact. Santa apparently knows the secret identity of the Rangers, likely due to always knowing who's been naughty and nice. The Rangers constantly perform good deeds, even though they're supposed to be with attitudes. As
Also,
revealed,
everyone knows like the identities of the Rangers are not that great at keeping it a secret. Let's
Not
be
at all.
real.
as revealed in the Power Rangers Dino Charge, he has a TV of him showing who does good and who does bad. However, as Dino Charge take place in an alternate universe, it's unknown if this applies to this version of Santa. Now, none of the Rangers appear morphed in this episode. That's an interesting fun fact. None of the Rangers morph in this episode.
No, they don't. Remember, because they get
No
there,
powers.
they can't change.
The musical, they had Silent Night in this episode. This is also heard from Alpha's Merry Christmas. For some musical adjustments, only mentioned of Jesus being the Holy Infant.
Oh, yeah.
Saint Jesus, say the
Yeah.
Holy Infant. On the 20th anniversary DVD, this episode is placed as the 16th of the season, immediately preceding a Ranger catastrophe. Once again, Catherine is edited out of the episode. The decision allows for more of a direct continuity from when Kat is introduced. Thereafter, constantly, so that's that. This is in the box set. The VHS was also released around the airing of Ninja Quest Part 2. The shots of Bulk and Skull in the third season opening credits are taken from this episode.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
donuts. I was
yeah,
waiting
that's
for
right.
that to come up.
Yep.
This episode uses no Sentai footage,
Not
which
at
is
all.
obvious.
Oh yeah.
This episode, this is the first episode to receive a home video release before airing on TV.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
The second would be the second episode, and I was just thinking about this. Lightspeed rescues Trakina Revenge, which was released on VHS Power Rangers in 3D. So Trakina's Revenge, actually, the only reason I really remember this is because you can only get it at like Burger King or something. Or at least I got mine from like Burger King.
Okay.
It was like a weird thing, but I do
that's
remember
why
that.
I was like, oh, shoot.
Goldar seems to have warmed up to Rito a bit as he accepts the present form of him. Romy J. Sharif, the original suit actor for Alpha, plays the head female elf in this episode. Though her voice was dubbed over by Wendy Lee, who would eventually take over voice acting Alpha 6 with Katrina Luciani, was fired due to fan complaints.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, now this is the thing. The elf, I was so like infatuated with the elf. Like something was like, how do I just?
You felt like
I
you knew
know
her.
this person. It just felt like that, and that's why she's alpha. That's
man.
why. Oh man. Thank you.
Another
Thank
fun
you,
fact.
Notes.
Tracy Lynn Cruz, who is Ashley the Yellow Tiburon Space Ranger, appears as an extra in this episode.
Oh.
She also would later go on to play Ashley Hammond, who becomes the So
Oh.
this is our first appearance of Tracy Lynn Cruz
Wow.
as an extra in this episode.
That is crazy.
That's Catherine, but
Yeah.
The episode also aired on Fox 2 weeks after the airing of Kimberly's final appearance, A Different Shade of Pink. So yes, it was added
Okay.
continuity.
Okay.
Guys, that brings us to there's no airs really besides some of the ones we kind of named, but that brings us to this. Now, what do you guys in the chat rank this episode? How many power coins you giving this one?
Man, this actually was pretty good. Now that I go back over it and everything, especially with no Sentai footage. Bravo for you guys. I'd give you guys a 4. Oh, I was gonna say 5.
No.
No, I want to give it a 3.5.
Thank you.
I'm also gonna give it a 3.5.
That's good.
Yeah, well, Mazel Tov.
So I do find this kind of like refreshing. The reason I find this so refreshing, this show in specifically, is because it's interesting because we all watch these shows individually. We're all alone, or I don't know who we're with, but we're all watching these shows. But it is better kind of like talking these out.
It is. It makes it more fun for sure.
It's so much.
So I'm hoping
really
that
like
you
it
guys
anymore.
like hearing them, because even hearing your guys' comments on some of these episodes reinvigorates my passion for this show.
Yeah.
And it also makes me realize, man, how good some of this first season stuff was. But
Yeah.
it does only get really better from here.
That's good.
Yellow
I like
Rangers.
that, it sets a bar, and they definitely had a learning curve for all of this. And,
yeah.
seeing these episodes with no errors as we kind of progress along versus, the errors in the beginning were,
Man.
as long as that kid's Christmas list. To see
Which
it.
he also didn't read the things that were on there.
Yeah.
But he kind of gave, this one is airplane. He says, I want a blah, 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 blah. He actually named
Yeah,
off
they're
the
just,
type of
note
airplane.
cards
I
for,
loved it.
what he really
I
wants.
loved it. I was, oh my God, that was accurate.
It reminds me. It reminds me of that time when Michael Scott dresses up as Santa Claus and Kevin sits on his lap. It reminds me of that. Mikey Perez gives us a 3.5. Matt gives it a 5. Lily gives it a 4.5. Jared gives it a 4. Blackwing gives it a 4.5. Hey, would you guys do a wrap-up of the MMPR movie? Yes. We are going to do a wrap-up of the MMPR movie, but we are going to do that on Patreon once that's up and going.
That's right.
And I promise that'll be going soon. We want to make that a Patreon exclusive, and we actually might do that a little differently. We might do it as a live watch. So as we're talking about the movie, we're also going to be seeing the movie,
Oh, okay.
and you will have the chat open so you guys can interact directly as we're watching
Oh,
the
that's
movie.
fun.
So think of it as Mystery Science Theater, except with Power Rangers and three of us. Me and Ro did it for Life Day, and now we're going to make this a tradition, a Life Day tradition.
You did it for Life Day?
The Star Wars?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's great.
Man.
And then
that movie was something.
Right?
So
Right.
we're every year we're gonna do a live stream. It's always gonna be of Life Day, but
Yeah.
it's gonna be different people on it, and we try to figure out what they were saying and try to voice them
the
over.
Star Wars Life
It's
Day.
fun. The Star Wars Life
I
Day.
can't wait.
So Patreon, that'll be a Patreon exclusive, and that's going to be coming soon. But that's not going to be the only thing exclusive to Patreon. We're putting a lot of things together for you guys. Cosmic Protectors, as you guys already know, there's going to be some fun incentive there. More things that you can do interacting with us. You can play games with Kelly directly, also with
Joe's
Jezzer.
Boudoir
Nope.
photos.
I love how you finally got to say the boudoir.
No, I made a commitment that I'm doing very little for the Patreon because I don't want to. No, but it's because
Good answer.
yeah, it's gonna put it. Yeah. So the Patreon's a lot different though. But the Patreon is going to you'll be able to interact directly for special events and special things like this. We're gonna do these community outreach things because the reason we want to do things like the Patreon is because here at the Comic Bug in Manhattan Beach, we want to get a lot of people in, just like we did for the Dimensions in Danger
yeah.
Power Ranger 25th anniversary
Yeah.
episode. And also, I'm going to promote this now and start it now. For the season finale of Power Rangers Super Ninja Steel, we're planning to do a live watch here at the Comic Bug in Manhattan Beach. So anybody that showed up to Dimensions in Danger, we are planning on doing another live watch with that. And as you know, if you were here for that, we had Ranger guests like Brennan Mejia, along with actors Caleb Bennett and it was Vic and Monty.
Yeah.
So they were both here, but we're planning on bringing in some of the Ninja Steel actors possibly, and doing a Q&A just like we did last time. So if you're in the Southern California area, I encourage you to come down and support the show in person.
Yeah.
And a lot of people that came walked away with some cool prizes and some cool gifts that they didn't know that they were getting.
Nope.
But that's what we're doing. But that's gonna do it for us, guys. We really appreciate you spending your Sunday with us. And if you're in the Austin area, I'm going to be at Fantastic Fest next weekend. So come and say hi in Austin, Texas. And then later on, we'll also be at NerdBotCon next weekend as well. So stop by the booth. We have people from Hashtag Show going there. There's a plan to bring the Megazord back. So if you didn't get a picture in it, you can do that at NerdBotCon. That's a cool event. And then possibly for sure LA Comic-Con and New York Comic-Con as well.
That's right.
So there's a lot going on. You can follow all of our journeys right here at that Hashtag Show. And by the way, if you're a fan of Infinity Watchtower, we just got some big confirmation on the Joker movie. Go and check out our website right now at thathashtagshow.com to know exactly what I'm talking about. And for all of you fans of Hashtag Show, you guys were the first to know. So that's even more reason to jump on our website.
That's right.
But that's going to do it for us, finally, after that long-winded thing. Elle, where can everybody find you on social media?
Elle Tea on Instagram and Facebook.
And Daniel, where can everybody find you?
Battlestar Galactica on Instagram. Also, we are still running something right now for our Instagram where you guys can make a very great meme or something concerning
Jezzer, did you not see his message? He just messaged me.
No.
He says memes. They're posting memes on hashtaggers.
You guys are supposed to send them to us.
I don't
So
know.
you
I'm
have to
gonna
send
look
them
at
to
them.
us.
THS at that#show.com. And also for all of you hardcore Star Wars fans, or if you want to start getting into Star Wars and jumping on, we do a Star Wars for the Working Man show on Star Wars Fanatics. That's on Facebook exclusively to hear the controversial Ro and me talk about Star Wars. I would say Ro's controversial, but he ain't no Jesser.
Oh, no.
But that's going to do it for us, guys. And we really appreciate your support. And come on over and hang out with us on Star Wars. It's a fun show. We get into a lot of topics, and sometimes we move up the conversation elsewhere, but it's a lot of fun, and join us. Again, that's Star Wars Fanatics on Facebook. That's on the Facebook page. You can also see that on that hashtag show's Facebook page. So Facebook exclusive. Come and join us there. We look forward to seeing you. That's going to be on at 8 o'clock tonight. So, guys, thank you so much, and enjoy the rest of your Sunday. We'll talk to you soon. Oh, did you get your social media?
Yeah, Battlestar
Yeah.
Galactica.
Okay. And you can find me at that hashtag Joe. But thank you so much for watching. I am Joe with that hashtag show. Please hit that like, share, and subscribe button to stay up to date with everything trending.
In geek pop culture.